Good afternoon, everyone. It's lovely having an audience like you today so that I can share a few of my experiences about homeopathy, alright, and how we can heal through homeopathy. Okay, that's the talk for today. Alright, just made a small slideshow to make it a little bit easier. So if you don't follow my words, you can at least read them there. Alright? It's a very simple slideshow. So first, we'll start with the concept of health, Before homeopathy, we should all know what health is. Okay? So health is a state which is a balanced state. And balance means that everything is in its own nature well balanced with regards to another. Okay, when you talk of balance. That is the physical state of a human being, then the mental or the emotional state, or also the intellectual state, alright, the social and the spiritual. Did everyone understand this? Yeah? So when all these aspects in an individual are balanced and he or she can function to achieve the maximum potential for their particular life, they are said to be healthy. It is just not if you don't have a physical problem or a disease, or if you have a physical problem or a disease, you are said to be unhealthy. That is not health or unhealth or disease. Okay? You need to have all these four factors. Socially, you need to be able to interact with other people in a healthy manner, without much of conflicts. Alright? It's not that you are very healthy and you are just living alone all by yourself. That is not a healthy person. You have to interact with other people around you. Okay? Now what is disease? When this balance is lost, then this ease or harmony of living becomes disturbed. It becomes diseased. Did everyone understand this? Yeah? If you don't understand that, you can always interrupt me, so we'll clarify the point, okay, before we go a little further. So I'm starting with very simple things. Now, what are the real main causes of diseases? If you read all the books in your health library, did you find any particular cause of a disease in any of the books? All the medical textbooks will tell you in about 90% of, or more than almost 100%, that the cause of the disease is unknown. Alright? But we can say that the most probable causes of disease, the most probable, okay, could be, one is indisposition. Indisposition means either anything in your lifestyle, like your diet, exercise, working habits, sleeping hours, relaxation times, time with the family, is disturbed. Either it is excess or it is less, or there is an imbalance between that, then it is an indisposition. For example, if you have overeaten some food, then you will feel uneasy in the stomach, but that's not a disease, because if you just rest and you don't eat continuously, you rest and you fast for a little bit of time, then that problem is solved. It's an indisposition. If you are tired, it's not a disease. If you rest well, your problem is solved. You don't have to go to a doctor. So those are called as indispositions. Alright? If you are sleeping very late in the night, working very late hours, irregular hours, if you correct that cycle, then the problems associated with that cycle are also solved. Fine? Then comes the genetic. There are some diseases which run in families, like hypertension, heart disease, strokes, diabetes. And you see that there is a family history of these diseases which are also there in the family and the relatives around. Okay? And most of all, as you see nowadays, most diseases are stress related. Okay? The stress comes from the environment around us and within us. That is, there are certain stressful factors outside our cells which are responsible for the particular disease. You understand this? Or there are certain ways in which we respond to the stressful factors outside which cause disease. Alright? So our response to the factors in the environment and all around us also give rise to disease. Now, what is homeopathy? Homeopathy is a medical science which is based on a law. That is why it is very scientific. It is based on a law of similars. Now, what does this law of similar mean? In nature, there is this law of similars which always exists. It says that a weaker dynamic affection can be completely removed by a stronger dynamic affection. For example, if you light a candle in this room, alright, and you also have about 100 lights in this room, what light will be stronger? 100 lights. So that small candle light will be of no significance. If somebody, like a baby or somebody is crying or weeping, and on the other hand there are loud drums beating in the environment, what will be visible or heard? Drums. So this is the principle of homeopathy. This is just nature's principle. It is not some principle devised from some law or derivation. It's just what nature says all the time. Any weak thing can be overpowered by something which is strong but similar in kind. Yes. Yes. But this, what he says is, did everyone understand? What we do with homeopathic medicine is, suppose you have a cold. Okay? So we give you a medicine which creates a cold which is more stronger than the cold which you have. Natural cold. But since we are giving the cold from outside, that disease will not stay in the body. It will go away. It will first remove the natural cold and then it will itself come out from the body. This works with cold and the same thing will work with cancer. So the principle is the same. It doesn't matter what the disease is. It's HIV or colds or cancer or some new disease which has been discovered. The principle holds good.
We can cure cancer also.
Yes. Yes.
All diseases cure.
Yeah, most diseases. Yeah, we'll come to that. We'll come to that. Okay, now this was discovered by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. He was also an allopath or a modern medicine MD in Germany. But what he found was, they first they were telling the public that there was the cinchona bark, alright, which was a remedy for malaria. Okay, quinine from the cinchona bark, it's the bark of a tree. And they said that cinchona bark cures malaria because it is bitter. So he said, let me try it out and see whether only because of something is bitter it can cure something. So he took that cinchona bark, he had it himself, and said, let me see what happens, And he found that after having that bark of the cinchona bark, he got symptoms similar to that of malaria. What do you get in malaria? Fever, chills, sweat, headache, weakness, bone pains, nausea, vomiting, whatever you get in malaria, he had the similar symptoms. So then he realized that cinchona bark or that quinine cures malaria not because it is bitter, but because it causes a disease which is similar to that of malaria. Did you understand this? Correct? So similarly, a lot of substances were proved like that as homeopathic medicines. How? Not as modern medicine which they treat on the rats and the chimpanzees and the apes, but on human beings. You are going to use the medicine primarily for human beings, so prove it on human beings. First and final testing. So you take a remedy or you take some substance, see what the effects are of the substance and note it down. Okay, this substance produces something like a headache. This substance produces all these symptoms. And then if somebody comes to you, a patient comes to the doctor having symptoms similar to that of produced by that substance, then that substance can be used as a remedy for that particular patient. Did you understand that? Yes? There is no response? Yeah? If there is anything with, because see, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, we don't want to stick to, I'm fine. Now, homeopathy is just not just a science, it's also an art. Like all medical sciences, it's an art, and it also has an intense philosophical background to it, philosophical base, which the founder, Dr. Hahnemann, has written a book. It's called The Organon of Medicine, in which the whole philosophy of homeopathy is given in about 296 aphorisms or paragraphs. That what is the whole philosophy of healing with homeopathy? It is just not giving something and saying that this person is okay. You have to have some philosophical background, some deep base. So for him, the highest mission of a physician is to cure. The physician should not give lectures and say, no, because you had alcohol, your liver is diseased, or because you are working late hours, you have this problem, because you are angry, you are suffering. No, that is not his mission. His mission is to see that the person is cured. Right? And an ideal cure, what is an ideal cure? It is very gentle, permanent, okay? And it removes the disease completely in its whole extent, in the most gentle manner, and of course with love, because love is a big energy, an important energy which heals people. Alright, if you have no love towards your patients or a person you are interacting with, there is not going to be any healing. Okay? And now, a physician should be an unprejudiced patient observer. That means, he should not have any moral background. Okay, this person has committed a crime, so he deserves this. Alright? He already makes a judgment. No judgments. The patient is a patient in front of you. Whatever he has done, whether he is a king or a beggar, he is a criminal or a priest, they are all the same for the doctor. Fine? And once you are able to remove the disease, so you are removing a major block in the person, and then only can the person pursue his call for which his existence on earth was there. That is the highest purpose of his existence. Okay? Now, the sources of homeopathic medicines, they come from the mineral kingdom. Mineral kingdom are all the elements which we use, right from hydrogen, helium, calcium, phosphorus, and all the salts, the compounds which we have, gold, silver, and all their compounds are the mineral kingdom. So we make medicine from mineral kingdom. Then from a large number of plants, animals, also some disease products, healthy secretions, and some other sources. Okay, so virtually almost every single thing can be made into a homeopathic remedy and used for patients. So there are like more than about 5,000 homeopathic remedies, and more are being proved as time goes by, because homeopathy is about 210 years old, but as it's progressing, more and more newer remedies are being proved and newer substances, etc. So what are the laws of homeopathy? One is the law of similars. That is, a weaker affection can be cured by a stronger one, which is similar to it. Second is the law of individualization. That means we have to study the person in great depth. Just because you have a cold and you also have a cold